I've just woke up and honestly, I'm so over this place. So the other day, me and Frankie were like, oh, we'll go for a nice walk in the park. And we got harassed by like 6 or 7 different men. Like, not just catcalling, but like slowing down, trying to talk to us. There was one guy who was carrying a baby. We were walking like this. Me and Frankie moved to the side to let him pass this wide path. And he like angles himself towards me and starts walking towards me. He's holding a baby and he's got this like angry stare on him and I have to like swerve out the way. We can see the difference. When we're walking with Blaze, no one looks at us. Yeah. They don't treat their animals nicely either. The horses are in poor condition. They have monkeys in chains wearing dresses. Like, I'm not a big fan of complaining. I love my life, don't get me wrong. But I did say I would show all of this stuff on the vlog and try and be more open about everything. The Airbnb sucks. Can't walk to the casino on my own. I've been running bad since the opener. Frankie's gone. Just kind of lost motivation for poker. I kind of feel a bit underconfident and I'm just struggling a little bit. I just don't want to be here anymore, and I'm sure a lot of poker players have experienced this, where you get to the end of the series and you're like, get me the fuck out of here. Today, going in to play probably my last event of the series, the freeze out, which is about £450, $550. So yeah, let's hope I can have a good run in this one. It's a one-day event and it's going to be very busy in the casino today because the main's going on. Another rainy day here. I decided not to play the main this year. It's quite expensive. I've already done 2 Sassy bullets and I also haven't been able to sell. I don't want to have any of that pressure on me where I have 1 bullet and I make incorrect decisions because of it. Also means I get to play this freeze out today, which was part of my plan. Totally fine with it. You don't always have to play the main event, you know, especially when it's a really big buy-in. Well, I was the first to arrive in this new room and it took about 25 minutes to actually start playing, which was slightly irritating, but we got there. Well, I've never been fucked by the deck so hard. One hand I open jacks, guy flats on the cutoff. He looks like he might want to get involved and might want to mess around a little bit. The flop is queen high. I check call, turn was a queen. I check call again, it means he has less queens. And then the river is, yeah, just a low card. He like instant bets, which often is a sign that they're weak, but they want to look strong. And that was my read on him, and he bets like 75% pot, and I just flick in a call. I think you just got to call that down there, and he just has queen 7 off. Maybe the other side is, though, that like it was the first level he played, and maybe he wouldn't start blasting off straight away, but I don't know the guy, so yeah, it's just annoying. So taking a quick look at GTO Wizard, as played, it's saying that Jax is kind of indifferent between calling and folding. I decided to go with a read. I thought his quick bet meant that he's weak. I've definitely seen this before, and sometimes it's okay, you gotta just go with your instincts, and I was just wrong here. Fundamentally, this is how this hand will just play out a lot of the time. So the fact that he had queen 7 off, obviously this isn't supposed to be in the range. We can assume that he's gonna have a lot of offsuit kings, a lot more offsuit aces than he should have. So the question is, do we think him having a wider range means he's more likely to have a queen or more likely to be bluffing? Well, looking at this, I don't think he's going to bluff much with the extra offsuit aces. I think he will bluff with his offsuit kings, but the rest of his range is a lot of offsuit queens. So after this hand and playing with him for a bit longer, it turns out that he was kind of just the loose passive type. So he's going to go to a lot more flops than he should, but he's not going to apply pressure with a larger number of bluffs. He's kind of just going to play very ABC with a wider range. And if I knew this information at this point, I would fold the jacks by the river, definitely. And then I raise queen 10 off on the cutoff, blinds come along, 10 high board, I bet half, small blind raises, I call, and then it goes check on the ace turn, and on the river he block bets, so I call it off and he's just got king 10. So looking at this post flop, you do actually find quite a few leads from the small blind, especially with the 10 jack high kind of boards. King 10 off was a good candidate for them. 6 high low boards are good for the big blind, but other than that, they mostly check range. When it gets to me, we're going to want to do a lot of big betting, so 50%, 66%, which is a big sizing multi-way. Queen 10 off likes the 50% sizing most, which is what I did. The small blind then bumps it up. They're going to do that with a lot of their 10x, as well as kind of sets and stuff. When it gets back to me, it is just going to be a pure call here. There's no need to keep piling in money. You will just run into it. You'll run into ace 10 and king 10 too often. But when you have jacks and plus, you can kind of go for it. So on the ace 10, small blind is meant to continue with most of their range. However, a lot of players are never going to bet their 10s when the ace come, or they're going to bet a really small sizing. So what I'm going to do is node lock it and say that they never bet a 10 here, just to see how the button should react to that. So I've taken out queen 10 and king 10 suited, going to keep in ace 10 because that's obviously 2 pair now. So now when they do check, queen 10 off previously was a bet, it's gone almost purely to a check. So on a 5, which is pretty much an irrelevant river, it's not liking a smaller bet, it's going to want to go more for value. This sizing is targeting my 10, which I'm going to call off a 50% sizing with things like queen 10, jack 10, 10 6 suited, 10 7 suited, 10 8 suited. So yeah, I call off with the queen 10. Interesting that it does turn it into a bluff and jam all in. My main problem is I do so much better when I get easy bluff hands and easy value hands. When you get this middling stuff and you're like, oh, it's kind of too middling to turn into a bluff, you end up just like dwindling chips really easy. And this is when I find it really hard to build a stack. So maybe I just turn it on its head in this spot. If I think I have the power to get him to fold king 10, which would be losing him 15 in EV, which is massive, that is a pretty sick bluff actually. There's been loads of little hands where I just have second pair or I have to call off a few streets and it just feels like I'm getting fucked by the deck and it's really annoying. I floated one multi-way with the nut flush blocker, and if the flush came down I would absolutely blast. And it just didn't come, and then it's like a bad bluff, so maybe I shouldn't have done that. This started with 150 bigs. I'm coming back now with sub 20, 30k down to 7k. It's been really tricky and it's getting to me, and I'm almost embarrassed to keep mucking my hands and stuff, but I've got to stay strong. Everyone's been through it where you get fucked by the deck. It's not your fault, and I'm not a bad player. I'm just getting in unlucky spots. And I'm not out, I've still got plenty of bigs. So yeah, come on. I just so happened to go completely card dead. Ended up squeeze jamming king queen off, getting called by a friend from the Birmingham G with king jack suited, and I lost that and it was GG. Went home extremely frustrated, laughing at the fact that I hadn't looked at a single pair of aces this whole trip, and I had barely looked at a stack over average. Managed to scrape my way to a good cash in the opener, but that really was it. And so me and Blaze watched some terrible movies to cheer us up, including one called Bubble Boy, about a kid who couldn't be outside of his bubble, who when he grew up turned into John Travolta, which was quite hilarious.
Are we gonna miss Marrakesh this time?
No. Very happy to be leaving. Should have left when Frankie did.
This will be quite forgettable outside of Frankie's win. The old money pits. Should have bought a car instead.
Yeah. Despite being ready to leave Morocco, we'd booked a week at the beach in Essaouira. I never want to take this travelling for granted, and so I was feeling optimistic about the trip. Just arrived at the new place. Pretty cool. Let's see. Thank God for that. We've got a kettle, we've even got a drip coffee maker. Oh, he bought us some tea. So the way they do it is like this, but you got to go really high to get the bubbles in it. Right, to work.
To work we fucking go.
So the owners have just made us a Moroccan tagine. Let's eat. The family who owned this Airbnb were absolutely lovely, so shout out to them. Me and Blaze kind of hid away that week just to catch up on a bit of work. Classic man move this, waits forever for me to get ready, like, oh, hurry up. As soon as we're ready to go, he starts counting his pennies.
Counting my pennies. For the inevitable you forgetting something at the last moment, I am buying myself time.
What does that even mean?
Don't you just walk out of the house?
I'm good.
Don't know. And what do we have here? Had to go back into the apartment. Don't start complimenting me and making me feel good to shut me up. It's not gonna work. I was right.
You were not right.
That's all that matters. I was right.
Back me up here, guys.
Don't back her up.
We managed to get out and do a bit of exploring, although it was quite a sad sight, to be honest, on the beach. It was very weird to see a shitload of camels and horses tied up, just waiting around all day, kept in bad condition. So if you can, please sign the petition linked below, trying to stop the animal exploitation in Morocco. We stopped to get coffee. They must have brought the wrong thing, but...
They must have taken my shirt away from me as well. That's not a straw.
The cats all seem to be in decent condition. They're very cute, but it's still sad to see them on the street. Interestingly, they filmed some of Game of Thrones here when Daenerys frees the unsullied slaves. That was cool to see, and it's very picturesque around there. He's just sitting. And so it was time to leave these beautiful kitties behind and hop on a bus back to Marrakesh, where we flew over to Malaga. I just had to wait over an hour in the border control queue. It's all because of Brexit. Guess what? I was 17 when we voted for Brexit, so I couldn't vote. The only satisfaction is thinking that the boomers who voted for this have to go through the same pain.
Look at that.
Exciting day.
Never done this before.
We are doing something very adulty. Aha! We had to get an automatic because Americans don't know how to drive a manual. A shtick. I've not seen him drive before.
There we are. Oh, there's this. I think that's just the floor. Up we go.
I can't even describe how much of a relief it was to land in Spain and have the car hire guy actually acknowledge me as a human. Make sure to like and subscribe, and next time I'll show you a bit of an insight into our time in Spain.